So, as you guys know, I've already made a few videos on Fanatics. I'm a guy that really does not like Fanatics. If you've watched videos on here before, you already know that. With the new MLS jerseys, don't even get me started on how terribly priced those jerseys are. But the main thing that I'm going to talk about today is the new MLB jerseys that are absolutely atrocious. They are just horrible. And, before we get into that, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, those are made by Nike. Those aren't Fanatics. You know what? Let's just look up real quick. Just go on Google and see who makes the new MLB jerseys. It's Fanatics. Fanatics makes the new MLB jerseys. And they are terrible. The first year that Nike leases the manufacturing and the design of these new MLB jerseys to Fanatics is the year that they just take a giant dip in quality. It just craters. But that means with the letters getting smaller and the fabric being thinner and all this, that must mean that it's cheaper, right? No, it is not cheaper. It's actually more expensive than ever to buy an MLB jersey. But that's just the base one. What about, even though those are heat pressed and they're no longer stitched and the material's super cheap and the patches are no longer stitched and it's all heat pressed and everything, there must be some alternative to buy a stitched version of these, right? Well, there is. How much are those? Way too much. Those are terribly expensive. How in the world are you gonna afford a $400 baseball jersey? I mean, that is just terrible. And then on top of it, you have the shipping and handling fees. Like, not just the shipping, you have the handling fees. What company still charges handling fees to people? Fanatics does. And it adds just that much more onto the end of your already way overpriced purchase. I've already talked in the past about how I'm very outspoken about how I think jerseys should be priced more for the working class person to be able to afford them. It should be a feasible thing to buy for the average person. You should be able to walk into a Walmart and get an actual jersey, not just like a t-shirt jersey. Even if it's just screen printed and whatnot, you should be able to go into a Walmart and get a jersey for a decent amount. Like a parent should be able to get their kid that jersey that they want for Christmas. It should not be that far out of reach for the working class person. But Fanatics is just taking it a step up year after year after year, regardless of inflation or what the current economics of America are. They still increase prices way too much, for no reason other than Michael Rubin wants more money because he's greedy. I get he's a good businessman. He's built a successful company that has nearly monopolized all of sports apparel, which is success. Not for the right reasons and not in a way that benefits anybody other than himself, but it's still success. It's one thing for these to be bad for fans, but maybe they're good for players. Maybe the reason the material's thinner, maybe the reason that it's cheaper to make and all that, and the letters are smaller and whatnot, maybe that is for the players. Maybe it'll help them improve. So the players must really like these new jerseys, right? No. The players are pretty outspoken on the fact that nobody in baseball likes these new jerseys. So the new jerseys, they're not good for fans. They're not good for players. There's only one group of people that are left to benefit from this. And again, that's Fanatics. Because that is what Fanatics only cares about, is themselves. They only care about making a profit. They only care about making as much money, like not just making a profit. Obviously, every company needs to make a profit in order to operate, in order to pay employees, for them to put food on the table for their families, in order to provide a service or a goods or something like that. Every company needs to make a profit. But Fanatics is already a very profitable company. So why in the world are they why are they making the letters smaller so that they can save more money? Why are they using cheaper materials so they can save more money, but then charging more for these jerseys to be made? There is no way that the price hikes are because it's more expensive to make these jerseys. There's no way. Like, I would need Michael Rubin or some executive at Fanatics to sit down and do a price breakdown to me of why these jerseys now cost more, when every year they are made cheaper and cheaper and the quality goes down. It just doesn't make sense. It's terrible. When people say bring back Majestic, I completely agree with them. We didn't have these problems under them. Just like how we didn't have the problems with the football jerseys under Reebok. Or we didn't have the problem with the hockey jerseys under Reebok. Or we didn't really have that many problems with NBA jerseys under Adidas and Reebok. But more and more, no matter who makes them, no matter whether it's Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Under Armour, whoever, more and more, it's getting leased out to Fanatics to not only store these and ship these and market these and whatnot, but also to make these jerseys. As most of you know, the NHL for the next 10 years will have their on-ice jerseys, every single jersey, whether it's the fan replica or it's the authentic what they wear on the ice. Every hockey jersey, every NHL jersey is going to be made, sold, and marketed by Fanatics. This, what we're seeing here with the baseball jerseys in Major League Baseball, that's a preview of what the next 10 years are going to be like for the NHL. Anything Fanatics touches when it comes to sports is terrible, which is really bad when you're a sports apparel company. And it stings more for fans when they market themselves as a company that's for the fans and for the people and for that everyday guy, when every action that they take is the opposite of that. When is the last time that Fanatics did anything to actually benefit a regular middle-class individual? I don't think they ever have. Not recently. Even the sales that they do, it never applies to the stuff that you want. Fanatics is just terrible. Obviously, they're a successful company, like I said, but that's just because they're the only place to go. Outside of Fanatics, where can you go? Rally House? Sometimes you can go to Walmart or Meijer, but chances are the stuff that's in there, like t-shirts and stuff, Fanatics probably at one point touched those products or had something to do with them being made or shipped or stored or something within that whole process. Fanatics had something to do with it. Fanatics benefits from everything. Luckily, I think with this whole MLB jersey thing, it will bring more awareness to how Fanatics is terrible. And with a lawsuit being filed against them, with them colluding with the NFL, at least it's suspected that they colluded with the NFL in order to drive up prices of their merchandise in order to squeeze every last penny out of the consumer. I think that will hopefully be a huge no-no in the eyes of the American government. It's really what I'm hoping, and they take action against Fanatics. But sadly, what's probably going to happen is that's not how that's going to work. But hopefully with this new MLB jersey being disliked by everyone involved with Major League Baseball operations, players, coaches, front office members, and fans, something will get done. But the bad thing about this is Rob Manfred is fine with these jerseys. He's come out and publicly endorsed these jerseys and pushed them and said that they were good, and once people got to wear them, that they would like them. Rob Manfred, if you can't buy the jersey because it's too expensive, how in the world are you going to wear it? And even if you do wear it, if it's a bad product, it doesn't matter if I wear it once, 5, or 100 different times. It's still a bad product and I'm not going to like it. Fanatics and Rob Manfred and whoever else in Major League Baseball's operations that pushes these jerseys and says that they're good to go for play or for consumption by fans is outside of their mind. They don't actually care. I mean, obviously we know with a lot of companies, they don't actually care, but sports is one of the few things where people really need to care in order for you to benefit off of it. Nobody there seems to care. Nobody there seems to be a baseball person. I mean, nobody there seems to be looking out for the everyday person or even the players. At the very least, the redeemable thing about jerseys is that it should be comfortable for the players to wear while they are playing the sport that they're paid millions of dollars to play. They gotta wear it almost every day over a 162 game schedule, plus the All-Star break, plus the playoffs. If they don't like it, who are these jerseys made for? Like I said before, just for profit. Just to squeeze as much money as they possibly can out of us. And I'm not advocating for some boycott of baseball entirely, or even a boycott of Fanatics, but at a certain point, it's got to come down to something's got to give. And at a certain point, it's not even going to be a boycott. It's going to be that people just can't afford the jerseys anymore. People won't have the money to buy jerseys. But I really don't want it to come to that, because it should always be something tangible for you to buy a jersey of your favorite player. Even if it takes you a while to save up for it, it should be something that is possible. When is a kid going to have enough money to buy a $400 jersey? Like, I get authentic jerseys are the high-end stuff, but even the high-end stuff used to be achievable for people growing up. Anybody outside of the upper class, anyone in the middle class, the lower middle class, or below that, any kid growing up in that there's no way that they can afford that jersey. There's no way their parents can afford that jersey. It's just terrible, because it's one of the things that push people away from sports is the accessibility of sports, and part of that is being able to buy a jersey of your favorite player. So where are people going to go? They're going to go to DHgate. They're going to go to fake jerseys, which I don't blame them. That's where you should go. We should punish Fanatics for monopolizing the whole industry and making jerseys no longer fun or cool. It makes sense to buy fake jerseys, because you still get to support your team, you still get to support that player, and you don't support Fanatics. So that's where people are going to go. So welcome to the era where 90% of the jerseys that you see at a stadium, they're going to be fake. I'm not even hating on it. As I've said before, I don't care if a jersey's fake or real. But Fanatics, you're going to stop making a profit really quick when a majority of your fan base no longer likes you. But yeah, these jerseys are just terrible for everyone. And it doesn't look like Major League Baseball or Fanatics or Nike wants to make a change to any of it. So I guess we'll just see where this goes. I'm Limitless Pulls, and I'll see you guys next time. I wish you the best of luck with your jersey buying ventures after this.
What you get mix right, nigga, put it in the blender. Hell yeah, I'm Wingstop. Put on some chicken tender. It's like the beef with energy and water like timber. Hey, turning, looking like dinner. It's like got the bad boy or girl.